One, we are live. Hello and welcome to PropTechBuzz. PropTechBuzz is one of the world's leading digital marketing platform for PropTech products all around the world. When we say digital marketing platform, we are a new age platform where we promote PropTech products from all across the globe on our platform. We have around, as you can see on the screen here, we have around 2,400 members on our platform. And before I interview my guest today, I just thought, let me give you a glimpse of what the platform is, and then we talk to our guest today. So our platform has close to 2,400 members. We have launched around 829 PropTech products across the globe, and we receive around 10,000 visitors onto our platform every week. And out of these 2,300 members, we have around 125 members who are global VIPs. Yes, these VIPs are global PropTech CEOs, founders, investors onto our platform from across 12 countries. So as you can see here, these are all the founders and the CEOs. Is Richard, the CEO of Condo.com, which is one of the largest condominium marketplace in the US. And then there is Giri. Giri is the only VIP on the platform who is a CEO of a Nasdaq listed public company, Realpha. And as you can see, there are many of them, and we are growing this every day. Every day we are adding a few VIPs. This is invite only. If you feel that you need to be there in this VIP club, do shoot me an email or contact me, and I will put you there. One of the interesting things that we have also opened in the last couple of weeks is our discussion board. We have a VIP room, which is a private room for our VIPs here, and the engagement is really, really great. This is a private room. That means non-VIPs do not get access to, but some really high-value conversations happen between these CEOs and the founders on our platform. So this is great. We also have general discussion boards for people from around the world. We have topical discussion boards like ESG. We have discussion boards for smart water metering, smart buildings, fractional real estate, and so on. We also have regional discussion boards here like PropTech USA, PropTech Canada, PropTech Vietnam, Thailand. In fact, we opened Bangladesh. So as you can see, it's pretty international. Our participants are from around 18 countries, and the discussions are getting richer by the day. Talking about AMAs today, we also have, what we do is we open up AMAs. When we invite guests onto our platform, we open up as AMAs, so you could post your AMA questions onto this platform as well, which we announce on LinkedIn. We also have category pages. Category pages are portals where we pick important categories like ESG, and we consolidate all the players across the globe. And then you can filter USA, UK, India, Canada, and then find regional players on our platform. So every week we are introducing new and new categories. In the next few months, we will be covering at least 90% of global category of all the products across the world. So just wanted to share this with you. We are also a media platform because we have our own internal editorial team. We have researchers, we have writers, where we cover international stories of great and exciting PropTech companies around the world. So if you want to be featured, write to us, and we'll be happy to write about you. So with that, that was my little plug-in before I introduced my guest today. So with that, let's welcome Samir. Samir is the founder, CEO of Squarecircle Global. And Squarecircle Global, through its new venture arm, Squarecircle Ventures, it offers revenue growth consulting services to startups, scale-ups, and corporations, considering venturing into the MEA region through business model, redesign, strategic partnership, investments, and market intervention. He has multiple specialties. The specialties range from startups and venture development advisory services, new market identification, entry and execution programs into the UAE region and Saudi Arabia region. That is exactly the topic we'll be covering today. He also offers CXO coaching and mentoring advisory services, board advisory services, I can keep going on and on, but I will not do the talking today. It's Samir who will be doing the talking today. So Samir, welcome to PropTechBuzz. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Ravi. I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Samir, what are the, so you come with a wealth of knowledge. What are the aspects that I did not cover in your introduction that you would like to share with our audience?
I think yeah, the CV is very precise. There is a lot of things going on. On the personal front, I think our venture arm is progressing well, and we're looking at actually building a bridge between U.S. companies into Middle East and India. So that's the corridor, really. One of the things we're actively doing is we're also encouraging trade and economic development. We are getting trade delegations visit UAE and Saudi, more to do. And these delegations are very, very interested for business matching and things like that. So I think apart from my background, these are a couple of things I wanted to mention. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Got it, Samir. And I also know that before we start into the meteor stuff, one of the important things that you mentioned was inauguration of a Hindu temple that happened just this week. Could you shed some light? Because the entire world was looking at Mr. Modi going all the way from India to UAE to inaugurate this temple. So you witnessed it live. Were you there? Could you just shed some light? Because I've not spoken about it with anybody yet.
Absolutely. I was at the Ahlan Modi live event. Unfortunately, the temple opening was very restrictive, so I couldn't get admission. But I would say, and the world is looking at Abu Dhabi as the place to go now, with India's global ambitions to have interfaith communities across the world. They have done this in the US. It was a challenge to have an idol worship in the Muslim country like UAE. But UAE, from the beginning, from their founding father, Sheikh Zayed, always followed interfaith principles. They never, you will see a mix of Christianity, Muslim, Judaism. You will see all religions mingle peacefully with each other. And because we are talking PropTech today, I want to highlight a little bit about the temple. The temple, which is made in Abu Dhabi, was actually the founding fathers had empowered the rulers of the UAE, the heirs of the UAE, to actually continue the same tradition. And because of that, when PM Modi ji came in 2019, he just contacted His Excellency, and they said, this is a wonderful idea we would like to have, and point your finger to a land in the desert, and we'll allot that for the temple construction. This happened 2019. We were hit by COVID, so the things slowed down. And in very short time, the temple was built up. It's a fantastic global monument for anybody to enjoy and believe, right? And the most important thing, as we're talking PropTech today, is it's only made of pink, marble from Jaipur, and there's no cement or steel in the construction. The beauty is the design is of 7 Emirates, representing UAE is 7 Emirates.
Got it.
So we call Shikhar. The Shikhars are 7 Emirates. So it's a wonderful monument. On the 1st of March, I'll be getting an opportunity to visit the temple, and I'll be happy to share more in our upcoming podcast.
Got it. See, this topic is relevant. I did not mean to ask this as a distraction. In fact, this is relevant for the entire mindset of people who are outside UAE, who want to either venture into UAE, say open businesses there, or grow or expand their businesses into this country. This just opens up the mindset, the restrictive mindset that people have of these regions, right? So what this shows is the UAE government and the UAE ecosystem is very embracing of all cultures, of all religions, and of all kinds of people, and it embraces diversity. Is how true is that, Samir?
I I 100% agree. As I said, the signing of the Abraham Accords, the the SEPA agreement, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement with India, uh, embracing everyone as their brother or as their family, is what the UAE believes in, and the well-being of its citizens and residents, what UAE stands for. Number one, safe city in the world, right? In terms of safety. So anybody who comes here with the intention that I'll do a 2-year stint uh, tends to stand for the rest of their life saying, I'm not living UAE because this place is my second home, and eventually it becomes their first home. So that's, I mean, I have seen a lot of people, who stayed over across their lifetime, and generations have been born here. So including my family here. So yeah.
Sure. So the theme today is about understanding, because ours is a prop tech community, and the conversation that we have on our podcast is about prop tech. And we already offer go-to-market services for USA. And before we reveal our go-to-market services for UAE, which will happen sometime next week, we wanted to just give a glimpse of the opportunities that UAE and Saudi Arabia presents to the world, to these prop tech companies. So give us a sense of the real estate opportunities that we see in UAE and Saudi Arabia today.
Absolutely. So first of all, welcome to all the audience. Now we are getting to the topic. So thank you very much again, Ravi and PropTechBuzz. UAE is a very young country, and Saudi has started their entire transformation about 5 years ago with the launch of their Vision 2030. So I'll pick UAE first because that's where I came into in the Middle East region after my short stint in Bahrain, which is a tiny country. And when I came to the UAE, it was 2003, 2004. Everything was around you. You see is sandy, and in 20 years we've seen a phenomenal transformation of not just buildings, but the entire mindset of people and the collaboration and the global ambition to become the number one city in the world. And I'm talking about Dubai. Similarly, Abu Dhabi and other Emirates are vying for the bigger pie of the global market. In terms of ease of doing business, Dubai has gained amazing popularity. It's in the top 100 of ease of doing business. Okay. 95% of the government services are digital,
Wow.
which means, and to cut all the red tape.
Hmm.
So now the core of any vision or visionary
Yeah.
is how can we uh, enhance the livability or livability of our citizens and residents,
Got it.
and the happiness. We also have a happiness index here, by the way. UAE has an happiness index.
Okay.
So the happiness of any citizen or resident comes by the by the usage of infrastructure, by the usage of connectivity to the rest of the world.
Mhm.
And you see examples like Emirates Airlines, you see the best road
Best.
infrastructure in the world. And that's what UAE from the beginning has actually strived for,
Got it.
saying we will build the best infrastructure, we will build the world for the world can come and see us,
Got it.
right? While you have the best monuments around the world, uh, which are the wonders of the world, but using human engineering and community, like they belong. It's a sense of community work, right? Even if you're PropTech or construction, you're actually bringing all the best project managers to develop a Burj Khalifa, isn't it?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And things like that. So UAE has taken very, very ambitious strides, and now you will also see a kilometer plus tower being built in Dubai Creek Harbor, which is taller than the Burj Khalifa.
Wow.
Okay. So that is under construction. That has already started. It's a big project like downtown Dubai.
Wow.
And Abu Dhabi is the federal, is a federal city which actually has sovereign wealth funds and the capital to actually help promote the other emirates. So if you are a crop tech and if you really want to start and if you have a good revenue base, then you want to start with Abu Dhabi because that's where some of the mega projects are happening right now. And then you can converge yourself to other emirates, as you progress, understanding the market of the UAE. Has taken a completely different route. Saudi,
Nobody's aware of Saudi. Everybody talks about Dubai and UAE, and I was quite thrilled to learn that the environment is expanding in Saudi.
yes,
Presents a big opportunity also. So give us a sense of Saudi opportunity.
absolutely, absolutely. So Saudi, when Mohammed bin Salman was a prince, and when you know. His ambition was actually how can we disrupt the nation, create a thriving economy, and build a very, very vibrant society. Saudi has always been this, the world looked at it as a very cultural, closed ecosystem. But when a young prince came into ruling, he said, I want to change the image and completely work on transformation. And everything changed since then, since he became the prince, right? So he laid out the plan or the foundation for something called as Vision 2030. So you should definitely look up, if you're watching this webinar podcast today, you should look up Vision 2030, which is based on three pillars, which I just mentioned. Ambitious nation, which means all your government services should be should be digital and effective, should have a social responsibility. The second is a thriving economy, which means that you have to work on increasing employment and diversify the economy extremely well. And why bringing vibrancy in the society is obviously, it's a Islamic society, it's an Islamic nation with its own identity. But how can you embrace other multicultural people to come in, do business, create ease of doing business? And now you'll see that transformation happening more than today. Some giga projects also, were launched during this transformation projects. I'll be actually speaking about that.
Got it.
But also, let me tell you very interesting facts about Saudi Arabia. It's a very young population. We call them digital natives, right? And being the average or the median age is about 29 years. A lot of them are urbanized or have lived outside, outside Saudi Arabia, and now are coming back to Saudi Arabia to give back to the country. And so you will see a lot of urbanization happening. Saudi Arabia also has a lot of agricultural land which they're actually building to, ensure that there is enough food security. Out of these digital natives, because of the young median age of 29, 96% of the population are using the web since they're born. Everybody is networked. The internet coverage across the kingdom is close to 100%. It's about 99.1%.
Got it.
And all of them, I would say, have banked digitally. So these are some of the factors when, in doing business or ease of doing business. One is you need very strong economy. Digital infrastructure should be strong. They should be urbanized. The people should be young so that they can actually over their lifetime create more employment for themselves or for others. They can become entrepreneurs. So I wanted to lay the foundation for our further discussion. I think that's okay, right?
No, no, very good. I actually shared the screen when you mentioned about the Vision 2030. So
Uh-huh.
yes, the first thing that appeared was the vision that you just shared.
Correct.
And yeah, so let's now talk about let's go into the meatier stuff now. Um,
Hmm.
what say on the real estate front? You are saying that there is a lot of investment that is happening.
Yeah.
uh, and in fact, last time you talked about a big mega city that is coming up. Do you want to share about that as well? What was the name of the city, by the way?
It's called NEOM, NEOM,
Neom, Neo Muscan.
NEOM, 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 NEOM.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm sharing that. Yeah. So what is it about Neom? Let me. Is this Neom? Yes.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So do you want to shed some light? What is this project all about?
Yes. So, when the Public Investment Fund, which is the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia, which is a government owned enterprise, started making this transformation journey, they looked at, infrastructure, innovation, uh, and employment, right? So I would say NEOM is a fantastic project on close to Egypt, right? Inside Saudi Arabia, very close to Egypt. The entire world is on a 6-hour flight, right? The
Mm,
ports are well connected. So I would classify NEOM as a or a giga city,
mm,
which is a $500 billion investment, which
mm.
is connected to the world, which has some amazing projects called the line, which is a 175-kilometer straight line building, which is completely autonomous, and over 9 million people will live in that city. Okay,
Wow.
it's a city by itself. And in order to urbanize and increase the livability of citizens inside NEOM,
Right.
they are creating various, I would say, infrastructures. Like, for example, volocopter. If you want to go from one place to another, you have volocopters which you can just fly, right?
Mm,
um, all the energy power generation is completely based on sustainable energy,
mm,
meaning the line is actually absorbing energy and supplying it to the entire 175-kilometer of infrastructure, right?
mm.
And stuff like that. But NEOM is not only infrastructure or only buildings.
Got it.
NEOM is the way of life. What they have trying to do
Mm,
is they've also want to recreate some of the industrial zones, for example,
got it.
some of the global resorts, okay, including the snow mountains and the ski slopes, they want to bring in a desert,
Wow.
right? So,
Yeah.
so it's pretty amazing on where human engineering can go. And this is just one project, right?
Got it.
They are bringing all the industries of the world in an industrial township called Oxagon. If you
Mm,
browse a little bit in regions and their businesses, if you click on the tab of businesses, you will actually see in different sectors they are present, what they want to do, and where they want to go. So they're not only focusing on industries or buildings or education, but
right.
they're actually transforming the way how people live and will live in the future, right?
Mm,
It's a very, very futuristic project. It will take 10, 15, 20 years for it to kind of really fully get occupied. But once occupied, I think people will just it'll become a way of life for a lot of people. So
Got
this is one project which Saudi Arabia has taken, very, very ambitiously.
got
It is supported 100% supported by the government.
got
There
it.
is a lot of interest for public-private partnership, and some of the PropTech companies which really want to have some innovative solutions. They have accelerators, incubators within NEOM, all right, which can, these startups or these companies can then apply to become and to execute some of these projects, because this is 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the work is going to go on, right?
Got Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, apart from that, Saudi Arabia has, apart from NEOM, I would say Saudi Arabia itself territorially is huge in terms of geography, right?
Right.
The prominent cities where business is being done, and where some of the PropTech companies, global PropTech companies, can actually look for Riyadh, which is actually the capital of Saudi, where approximately now the population is about 8 million people. It's a combination of expat and locals.
Got it.
Jeddah is another very, very vibrant city. It is more like our Indian city of Mumbai, very, very urbanized. Okay. And it's a port city. Population is around 5.5 million. And because being a port city, it has connectivity to some of the leading ports of the world, and a lot of shipping transactions, including companies like Red Sea Gateway Terminal, which is another investment of the Public Investment Fund, are based in Jeddah. Mecca, everybody knows, is the holy city. Now Mecca is actually building. They already have a bullet train between Jeddah, Riyadh, and these places for people to leave to Mecca. And it's a holy city. And then religious tourism, if you are in that space in terms of offering technology for religious tourism and buildings and green energy and things like that, Mecca is building a lot of infrastructure, and that's going to continue for the next, again, 20, 30, 50 years, right? Medina is again a holy city, which are close to each other, approximately 1.6 million population. And then the main hub, where the oil gets produced, where Aramco, and SABIC and some of the leading oil producers are there, where Saudi economy thrives on oil, right? So it's the administrative center place called Dammam, which is another couple of hours drive from Bahrain if you're driving across the King Fahad Causeway. So these are, just for people who don't know from a geographical perspective, these are some of the cities which are transforming themselves and are creating amazing global impact for companies to come and thrive in their country.
So lots of residential real estate is active here. Would that be fair to say?
Residential real estate is active. It's getting expensive. Commercial real estate is being built because there is a lot of pressure on commercial real estate right now. Because they, Saudi Arabia did, again, as a part of Vision 2030, they said companies who will bring or who will set up their regional headquarters in Saudi Arabia. Regional means, I mean, the Middle East, North Africa region. Okay. Or I would say the GCC region to start with, and then most of the companies go to Middle East and North Africa. Sometimes from UAE or Saudi, they also enter Africa. Correct. So those companies, what Saudi did as a strategy for companies, for global companies, that if you establish regional headquarters in Saudi, we will give you concessions both on corporate tax as well as withholding tax, for 10, 20 years. And because of that, also we will give you residency for your top 5 or 10 executives, right?
Nice.
Okay. Which is like a golden residency for 10 years, things like that, to attract both the companies as well as their top executives.
Got it.
Right. So that is happening rapidly. You will, you will notice that a lot of companies are now moving their regional headquarters to Saudi
Got
because of this mega opportunity where there is construction boom. There is obviously, the price of oil doesn't decrease. It's just the volatility is what makes money for Saudi. So I think that is keeps increasing. The lifestyle business is increasing. It is
mm,
becoming fashion capital of the world. If you
mm,
look at sports, for example, sports infrastructure is being built at massive scale.
mm,
Okay, because if you see Messi and other top sports icons, golf as well,
mm,
you will suddenly notice there is a huge amount of global sport icons being or moving to Saudi to kind of become part of some large clubs and large corporations who are sponsoring them to come and become their brand ambassadors, etc.
got it. I think I saw the Messi Saudi Arabia video. It was really good.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And so that shows the futuristic vision of the country.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
There is an event happening actually in about less than 2 weeks. Actually, it's called Leap, LEAP, Leap,
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia.
Got
That
it.
is so any prop tech company. This is for the prop tech companies who want to experience the kind of digital and innovation is happening in Saudi Arabia. That's a must attend event. Uh,
It's Riyadh, is it?
yeah, it's a leap. Yeah, exactly. It's called the digital Davos. So
Davos.
this is a must-attend event. I will be there.
Mm,
This is a mega giga event, and you will see the top executives from global companies are coming and speaking at this event.
mm,
And literally, you will meet everyone who has a future foresight on how they want to transform not only their company but the country and the communities around them. You will meet them at Leap. So I would highly encourage anyone wanting to come. It's free registration. I think you should take advantage if you're closely eyeing the Saudi market.
got it. Got it. Excellent. This is so much of precious information here. Okay, so now let me just close the screen here. Maybe what we could also talk, Samir, is the challenges for offshore companies who are entering these markets. What are the initial challenges if somebody wants to get in without help? Where are the struggles? And if you could let that know, that will be helpful.
Sure. So I'll start from UAE. I talked about ease of doing business, 95% digital. Dubai Economic Development Department also offers something called a digital license.
Right.
So you don't have to be in the country. You can license a digital company and
Mm,
work from anywhere.
mm,
Okay.
right.
So they have made it so simple in Dubai and the UAE that
Mm,
their whole objective is how can we bring more companies inside. So over a period of time, they are going to contribute to the economy,
got it.
right?
Mm,
Um, Also, I want to kind of give a little bit more information on types of companies one can set up
mm,
here. Okay, one is a mainland company, which means it is more regulated.
got it.
Okay, so if you want to work with a lot of government, and if you're delivering a lot of projects to federal agencies and military and defense, etc., I think mainland having a mainland company, obviously mainland also offers you 100% ownership of your company,
Correct.
but compliance is a little bit higher. Okay,
Got it.
so that's the mainland side. On the second side, something called as free zones.
Mhm.
So what UAE has done smartly, and this is like 20, 25 years ago, they set up free zones for every sector. So for
Mhm.
example, technology companies, there's internet city. For industrial companies, there is Dubai Industrial City,
Mhm.
right? If you're manufacturing. For media production, there is an international media production zone, Dubai Media City, right? There, if you're a science startup or if you're doing innovation in science, you have Dubai Science Park.
Mhm.
If you're an academic innovator, you have Knowledge Park and things like that. So what they have done, they have categorized businesses.
Mhm.
So you're very clear when you're coming and setting it up,
Mhm.
you know where you want to go, correct?
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, in the prop tech side, either you're just an e-commerce play, or you could then be also a regulated entity. Because
Mhm.
if you're, for example, if you're doing fractional ownership, right?
Yeah.
Uh, in that scenario, you have something called as virtual asset regulatory authority, which is set up.
Mm.
Okay. So you will have to obviously incorporate a trade license and get a trade license with a free zone or a mainland.
Right.
Plus, you will also have to comply and follow through the process of
Right.
level 1 to 5 compliances. It takes about 2 years to
Got it.
get a WARA clearance.
Got it.
That allows you to actually do all virtual assets, play
Got it.
basically.
Got it.
So the challenges are the following. One is, if you are an early stage company, Dubai is expensive, Abu Dhabi is expensive. These are emerging, but with limited capital, you'll struggle for the
Mm.
initial days. But
Got it.
if you are an existing company somewhere else in the world,
Got
right?
it.
If
Yeah.
you want to open a branch of a foreign company, you understand the game, already the game,
Right.
then it will be much easier.
Got it.
Second is, local connections are extremely, extremely important.
Mm.
So if you just are, I call it paratrooping. A lot of people paratroop in and out.
Mm.
They think that relationships can be paratrooped, done by paratrooping, but
Mm.
that's not the case. People want to hear, touch, and feel in
Mm.
order to work with you here
Got it.
closely. So I think culturally you should be very, very. You should have understanding of the local culture, the local people, what they respect, what their tastes are,
Yeah.
and then build those relationships. So I think most importantly, that relationship building part
Mhm.
and cultural understanding
Mm.
on how they work,
Got
I
it.
think that's important from a compliance perspective. Ease of doing business is easy.
Got it.
Talent is a little bit challenging here,
Mm.
and talent is expensive.
Got it. Got it.
So a lot of companies who set up here as either branch or sales offices have
Mm.
their talent somewhere else.
Got it.
Okay, and as they grow in their footprint in the region, then they start having more and more employees on board in the UAE.
Got it.
Saudi, I'm going to talk a little bit about Saudi. We
Sure.
still
Yeah.
have 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. We have time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Saudi is a little bit different compared to UAE. Saudi has started the transformation program, right?
Mm.
About 5 years ago.
Right.
So Saudi is learning the global rules of the game.
Mm.
Okay, how some of the best cities in the world have actually moved from being very, very closed economies to becoming very, very vibrant and thriving economies.
Got it.
Okay, now being an Islamic country, they have to actually, I would say, not protect, but they have they have certain disciplines which they have to follow.
Mm.
Okay. So I think, given those, and those are financial disciplines, cultural disciplines, and obviously regulatory and compliance disciplines, which,
Got it.
which all fall under the Sharia law.
Mm. Got it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, so till now, starting a company in Saudi Arabia is a little bit difficult.
Mhm.
Cost anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 per year.
Wow.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then maintaining that amount of liquidity or business
Got it.
operations might be challenging for an early stage company.
Got
Correct?
it. Got it.
But
Yeah.
there are a lot of corporate service providers which Saudi has done fantastic. I really love that model, right? What they have done and they have started doing is there are these incubators. So if you apply to an incubator or if you're applying to a VC fund, they have given some powers to them to actually ease the incorporation process,
Got it. Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
Saudi Arabian Investment Authority, or we call it SAGIA, it's a government investment authority,
Right.
okay, works closely with co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators to
Got it.
actually provide the licensing required
Mm.
without having the large capital.
Got it. Got it. So
Okay?
you can part away with some of your equity, get some investment, and as part of that entire package, you can also get some help in.
Some of them are equity free actually. If you're part of a government, if you're part of a government program or even a public-private partnership program,
Right.
you wouldn't have to part equity. If you're tapping into a family office or a venture capital firm,
Right.
then you'll have to part with equity depending on what the terms are and things like that. So, but for again, I, if you really understand the culture to build, if you've spent time in the region,
Right.
then and if you understand the potential on its global applicability of your product,
Right.
then Saudi is the place to be, I think, because of the kind of collaboration and the kind of people coming into Riyadh is just amazing. And Leap is one of the events. Again, I want to kind of re-emphasize that it's not a miss event. So the challenges remain, but I think one of the things also coming back to what I said about NEOM is going the Dubai free zones way. Hopefully, in 1 or 2 years, once the infrastructure in NEOM sets up, you will see those free zones become more and more popular because industries will be set up according to categories.
Got it.
Right? Things like that.
So one of the things that PropTech companies need is so who do they sell their products, right? So they sell their products to asset owners, to real estate developers, to projects. Okay, if it's a construction company, it's always the builders, right?
Yeah.
So those kinds of, and you mentioned about relationship building and stuff like that. So those kinds of connections, how can somebody who is new to the country make?
So I think the best way to make those connections is actually start attending some of those events which they organize, right? Okay, you will see many events. The event season starts from the first week of October, goes till almost the end of April.
Got it.
Just mark your calendars for those events happening, and you will see a mix of different types of events, including real estate events and PropTech events. I am a judge for some PropTech companies. This is a global event which happens every year in December, and everybody should attend. It's called the Big Five. Big Five, right? So I'm a jury for the startup competition. And we get some amazing global PropTech companies to come into Dubai, Abu Dhabi, build those relationships. A lot of times, through our connections, we also get, companies or founders who contact us. If it is within our means, we definitely go ahead. And if the product is really good, we will make those connections happen, right? So one, if you are very new and want to understand how UAE functions or Saudi functions,
right,
you will have to spend a little bit time, at least a month, understanding how businesses are run, how relationships work. So spend a month. I think one month should be good. Once you understand and once you build some network, attend a lot of events when you are here, okay? Build that up. And then when you go back, try to come once a quarter for 1 week to kind of reconnect with the folks you've already met and By the way, there are incubators and accelerators who are also recruiting PropTech, sustainability PropTech companies, etc.
Got it.
So if you're fundraising, for example,
Got
you'll
it.
find an accelerator which is much suitable to what you're building.
Got it.
I recently met a company in EdTech,
Hmm.
okay, who's done extremely well in the India and European market,
Got it.
but has very little footprint, out of the global revenues in the UAE market, right?
Got it.
They chose a program which also gives them $200,000 capital,
Hmm.
and then they enable all the connections, and they can go to a Series A and much more capital infusion
Got it.
as the company grows. So there are programs you can look out to. You can feel free to connect with me, and if you're a PropTech global PropTech company, I'm happy to introduce you to some of these accelerators.
Sure, Samir. I think our next conversation will be exactly that. Okay,
Sure.
we'll be revealing some of our plans, and you will be very you'll play a crucial role in those conversations. So I would not want to reveal all of that as of now, but let's keep that suspense, and then in the coming weeks we will
Absolutely.
explain more on how they could leverage our help. With that, Samir, thank you so much for your time. I think your wealth of wisdom came through here. How long have you been in that region, Samir?
I have been here for 20 years. I came here in 2004.
Hmm.
2003, I came to Bahrain first. 2004, I came to Dubai. It's
Nice.
exactly, in March, April timeframe, it will be 20 years.
And,
So
and you are a globetrotter, no? Because I always see you every quarter or so. You go to either.
I do, especially with Squarecircle Ventures now. We're looking at companies who are US based companies, want to expand globally. We're using the US, Middle East, and India bridge to kind of target these three economies. So you
Got
will
it.
see that footprint across those three economies. And obviously, there are some interesting conversations happening around trade and economic development
Nice.
across different chambers in the regions I cover.
Nice. Nice.
So I think chambers. By the way, one of the things I should mention: the chambers here are super friendly. So
Hmm.
any company wanting to come can also contact the chamber directly. They're
Hmm.
happy to match them with prospective buyers, etc. So
What is the meaning of a chamber?
it's a business chamber. It's like for example, Dubai chamber, Abu
Hmm.
Dhabi chamber. It's a chamber of commerce and industry.
Got it. So it's a government entity that is what purpose does it solve?
The purpose is purely economic development, and there
Got it.
are what they have done is specifically to target SMEs and global companies to come and set up businesses here and
Got it.
help them with business matching, and they do it as a service. Like it's a very awesome service they're actually enabling, so that
Got it.
more and more companies can seamlessly be working through the chamber through a proper channel
Got it.
to secure more local contracts and things like that. So again, we can talk more about the chamber. I just wanted to give that hint
No,
on
thank you.
how this enablement can happen.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll come back again. We'll do a proper webinar on our services that we'll roll out. But thanks, Samir, again, and we'll come back again soon.
My pleasure. Thanks, Ravi.
Thank you. Bye bye.